Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Hey That's Easy, the variety show showcasing topics that are helpful and easy. I'm your host, Lawton Luntz. Episode 5 is all about new beginnings. My co-host is Ava. Welcome again to the show, my true partner in crime.
Hey, Lawton. Hey, everybody. Happy spring. What an exciting show we have tonight. I know a lot of people have been in a rut. It's been a long winter. I think our guest tonight can really help transform lives. People looking to shift over into a new career. Maybe they've had to, maybe they just want to, but I'm so excited to hear what they all have to say.
Welcome. Yeah, indeed. A great lineup of guests tonight, especially if you're in that space where you may be thinking about a career change or even a fresh start. I mentioned in the open that this is a variety show, but it's also a collaboration between the University of Phoenix and the communities team from Xfinity. So Ava, speaking of new beginnings, getting that degree is certainly something you can facilitate.
Yes, absolutely. Always a great time doing this show with Xfinity Communities. University of Phoenix, if you're looking to shift gears, finish that degree, we can help. Obviously, we've got hundreds of degree options, everything from business, education, technology, nursing, undergrad, grad, even doctoral programs. 5-week-long undergrad, 6-week-long graduate courses, a free application. So if you've been thinking about making that career change or just finishing that degree, we can help you gather all those transcripts together, piece them together, and finally finish that degree. So do visit phoenix.edu and then put in tuition, ways to save money. And you can check if your employer is in alliance with us, such as Comcast, where you may get a discount even further. So yes, always a great time. And I believe we have a barcode that, there it is. I'm sure we're all used to using the barcode now. You simply just act like you're going to take a picture and hover over it, and the link will pop up, and you can fill that out and hopefully get some information. Someone will call you right away, and you can maybe finish that degree for spring, fresh start. So I'm so excited. I hope we can help you today with that. And Lawton, I was going to ask what's new and exciting at Comcast, but I keep seeing Xfinity Mobile every time I turn on my TV. Is that the newest and greatest news from Comcast?
It's safe to say that's an area of focus for us this year. Absolutely. I've encouraged anyone and everyone to go to xfinity.com/mobile and do yourself a favor and do your own research. Our pricing just dropped as of the 15th. First and foremost, if you really like your carrier, go there and utilize our Xfinity Mobile calculator. Do that first and foremost, because then that way you can plug in all of your current numbers and see if there is a true savings or if there is a benefit at that time. Now, if you want to bypass the calculator, if you're an unlimited data person, all of our data options just switch with 4 lines, only $30 a line, very competitive in that space. So I just encourage you to do yourself a favor. Go to xfinity.com/mobile and do the research yourself. You owe it to yourself to not only be in the best product, but save yourself some money. And yes, that's why you're seeing all the commercials. It's a huge focus for us, at least. Bless you.
It's all this fresh spring air. I guess that also means allergies, right? Well, how very exciting. Yes. It's always time to look at maybe getting a better deal out there. So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. That price drop will save at least me and my family $60 a month. And we won't really have to switch much. So it was good for me. And it could be good for you as well. So check it out. So coming up later on the show, we have career coach Russell Wright. He'll join us. And Nicole Maxfield tackles her first nonprofit fundraiser inspired by a local family in need. But first, Ava, you have to be in this right mindset first if you're willing to start anew. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's all up here, right? And I know not everyone has been able to be exposed to such great coaches. So I think tonight we'll give them a taste for how these guests can help them, maybe transform their lives and just have that positive mentality. Yes, like I said, it's been a long year. We're all ready for spring and fresh start. So very excited. And I believe we're going to start with Sean Fiore. Hi, Sean. Hi there. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm very excited to have Sean because on top of everything else, mindset mentor, he's also a University of Phoenix alum.
I am. Yes.
Always nice to see them thriving and surviving. But you're a reformed business coach turned mindset mentor. I mean, I'd like to ask the question, what is a mindset coach? But how did you get into this type of business? What inspired you to become a mindset mentor?
Yeah. So there's a really long story and there's a short answer. I mean, I went to the University of Phoenix while I was growing up in a family construction business, wanted to get my degree, planned on getting a job, ended up spending 20 years in the construction business, right?
Wow.
We're talking about change and making a fresh start. I loved the business. I loved the things I was providing in my life, but I knew there was something different, something more for me. And so I started searching for it. And I ended up going to work for a national training organization for contractors for about 5 years, taught a lot of business process, but I kept seeing this reoccurring theme that I'd seen inside myself and inside clients. And that is, if you have a good process, say a sales process, and it works really well, it works every time, but you plug different people into it and you get different results, what's going on? And that really drew me to more purposeful work of, okay, if the system's going to work the way we intend it, we got to start working on the mindset of the people we're plugging into it. And so a couple of years ago, I went down this path. And just ended up, I spend my days now working with people, unlocking their minds, removing self-limiting beliefs, and stepping into what's possible, whether it's in their existing position or if they want to break off and start something brand new. It all starts with a thought, right?
Wow, how exciting. So one size does not fit all, sounds like, with this plug and play. You've got to have that motivation, have that mindset, and that's what's really behind success, it sounds like. So how would you describe your approach to coaching? What's kind of your MO, if you will, towards motivating people?
So I like to say I have a unique approach, and it's in this way. And I coached a lot of salespeople. I still work with a lot of salespeople. Rather than me showing up here, even here tonight, and saying, Ava, this is how I do it, I approach it differently. I meet with people. I do a discovery call, and I see what they need. I have a lot of tools in my tool bag. I have over 25 years of experience in business, doing personal development, doing some spiritual and some energy type work. I don't know what you need until we have a discussion. So that's my first approach, is asking some questions. Are you fulfilled financially? Are you fulfilled in your relationships? And are you feeling healthy and energized? Those are the three areas that I really focus on. And depending on the answer, we may go one or two or three or five directions. So that's kind of how I approach it.
So you can kind of help in all areas. You don't just specialize in one. I saw that. And that's what's really exciting. We got a question, actually. Well, go ahead with that one. How do you shed off a negative mindset? My goodness, I know a lot of people need that help, along with a lot of different areas. But could you maybe address that for us, Sean?
Yeah. I mean, as far as a negative mindset, I mean, I would love to if you had something more specific that you would like help with, because it's a choice. First of all, it starts with a decision, right? I mean, when things happen to us, they just happen. And we actually, and this takes some work and a little deep dive in to figure out that when it happens, it's neither positive or negative. I decide which way I'm going to make it. And so when I say, I have a question like, how do I get rid of a negative mindset? Well, what are we talking about? Is everything negative, or are there certain things that come up that you tend to assume as negative? And I spent a lot of time, and I've had some life experiences with some death, some loss, where I was in hard moments and I had to say, God, this sucks right now. Like, this is hard to be positive. This is hard to be an ostrich and pretend this isn't happening. And then it takes some work. I mean, it takes a little while to go into a dive, but we have these things called paradigms, and paradigms are our beliefs and our actions that are really programmed into us. So a negative mindset could just be a program. And as a newborn child, we get put on this earth perfect, and we get told by our parents what language to speak, what food to eat, what to be afraid of, and sometimes whether to be positive or negative. So depending on how long we were told that, whether it was 18 years, 25 years, or 40 years, to shift the negative mindset, I got to start doing the same thing that got it there in the first place, and that's reversing it with repetitive thought over maybe an extended period of time.
Wow. So I mean, there's so many. I think for a lot of people, it's an avalanche, right? First, they maybe lose their job, then something else happens, death in the family. It can sometimes compound. So absolutely. Get to the bottom of that. Hey, Lon.
Hey, glad to be back. John, I actually have a quick question for you. wondering if you had an extreme case, like someone who came with you with an extremely negative mindset, but you were able to turn around and make it more of a success story.
I'm trying to think of an extreme case. I mean, it's interesting because I work a lot with the law of attraction, right, and vibration, and we hear a lot about that. What does that mean? I tend to attract people into my practice and into the work I do that are open-minded and have some willingness to make a change, right? And to that makes it easier. I mean, I've had one client that I worked with in the last 5 years that I wasn't able to impact, honestly, and they weren't open, they weren't willing, and they wouldn't do anything. I think maybe let me share this. This might be helpful because I know a lot of times we get stuck complaining about circumstances, relationships that aren't going the way we want them to, things on the outside, and we try and control that, right? And I've had some pretty extreme cases where, say, in a loving relationship, whether it's husband and wife or just significant other, I wish this person would be more of this. I wish this person would be more of this. And I've had several instances. I was working with a professional businesswoman. She would get on our calls, and a lot of the focus would be on her husband and how negative he was and this and that. And I would just say all the work I do starts on the inside. You know, we can't expect other people to do anything. We have only control of ourselves. But as she got more positive, as she got more self-love, as she got more confident, as she showed up differently in the relationship, I got a call from her like 6 months after, and she's like, I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. He's positive. He's upbeat. He's reading personal development. He's doing all these things that she wanted him to do. And it started with her just doing some things different. So I think I see that all the time. I had another client last week that she had a fight with her husband, called me, was asking just for some advice. And I said, well, it starts with, I don't want to hear about me. I'm sick of hearing about me. And I'm like, no, you totally affect it. And we went through a little session on it and got a text 2 days later, do you have 5 minutes? And I said, sure. And I hop on the call and she said, I just had two firsts. I was wrong and I'm sorry. And I've never heard either of those words in the last 15 years. I'm like, see?
Amazing work. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Looks like you got another question too. Is there
go ahead, David.
One, can you read that?
I can. Yeah. I was just going to say the question is relative to more of a cliche, or is there like a go-to, like a don't sweat the small stuff, do the small things right? Is there something you feel that is foundational for your approach?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I have so many of them. I mean, one of the oldest, and my kids growing up hated this, but Henry Ford's, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way you're right. It all starts with a decision, right? The second I decide something, again, go back to the negative mindset. Okay, this happened to me. Did it happen to me or did it happen for me, right? And it's up to me and how I decide. The other thing is, Wayne Dyer is one of my favorites, and he had a saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And to me, that's so powerful in every situation. If we can take a little bit different of a perspective and change the way we're looking at a situation, we can always see it in a brighter, more positive light.
Well, hey, have to start somewhere. The mindset of the mentor and you changing everything. Give us some information on how our viewers can get in contact with you, and your website's on the screen. Any other contact information or whatnot?
Yeah, but best way to get a hold of me is through my website. There's a contact page on there. There's some more information. I also on social media, on Facebook, you can find me by my name. I've got a group called Enjoy the Ride. It's a free group, and all I post in there is positivity. I do a Monday motivational message. I'll do Wednesday wins, and I do Friday gratitudes. And it's an easy way to get some free information just to kind of uplift you. I also do lots of just free sessions. I mean, let's have a meaningful conversation. If someone I've said strikes a chord and it resonates, you're like, I think there's something different or something possible for me that I'm not stepping into, I would love to, do a 45-minute discovery call. There's no pressure. I don't sell anybody anything. I just serve. And if you think there's something there that you would like to dive into, we'll take a roll. Otherwise, I promise to add value in any interaction. Hopefully I'm adding some value tonight. It's my goal.
Oh. All great stuff, Sean. We certainly appreciate you stopping by for a few moments. Once again, make sure you reach out to Sean on his website. Like he said, he's not there to sell you. He wants to have a conversation. Sean Fuhrer, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Thanks so much, Sean, for joining us.
Thank you, Sean.
All right. Thank you so much. Always.
What a great way to start off.
He was so uplifting, and and I'm very proud to say an alumni of University of
Yeah,
Phoenix.
that's great.
Yeah, what a great start.
Really liked his message about serving. That's great, and for being a coach and a mentor and in sort of a leadership type of facet, that's just a great way to start. So Ava, our next guest, not only a published author, but has advocated for underrepresented or individuals for the last 9 years. He's also has several impressive testimonials regarding his coaching on LinkedIn. Feel free to introduce our next guest.
Yes, Mr. Wright, Russell Wright, behavioral relationship coach, author, speaker. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you must be a very busy man, and you're also an employment placement manager at Year Up. So you wear a lot of hats. And I just really loved your page where you said, basically, your purpose in life is to inspire, educate, and encourage individuals to live a more purposeful and fulfilled life. So that is amazing. So yes, what inspired you to inspire others?
First of all, thank you guys for having me. I truly appreciate it. This is a blessing. So thank you. And I think what inspired me, well, first of all, prayer, and being of age, mature person. I like to use the word mature,
That's a great way to put it. I like that.
Like a wine. My purpose is to serve. Mm-hmm. And I knew that, and I realized that. And then dealing with underrepresented individuals, mm-hmm. because trying to find the knowledge, what is it that they need to get to where they want to be? Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to figure out. And lo and behold, I did it. I surely did.
Well, I heard your story. You kind of told me a little bit about your background, but what obstacles did you overcome in your own life that kind of play into what you do and kind of inspired you to help these underprivileged, people in the world? I believe you told me you've had your own set of hardships.
Yes, and it started right from birth, because when I was born without a name. So yeah, right did it there.
Right out of the books, huh?
So it was like, okay, what's going on? But as life progressed, growing up, staying in the hospital half a year, not being able to read in the 9th grade. So all these things I had to overcome to where I am now, actually working on my doctorate, the family and everything else. And my whole purpose is, okay, you overcame these obstacles. How can you help other people overcome? Because I realized that if I can do it, then they can do it. And I was looking at your last guest. Yeah. It's all here.
That's right.
The mindset.
Wow. Yeah, you can overcome anything if you put your mind to it, they say. And absolutely. And I know everyone's been through such a hard year, and we've had so much turmoil, but it comes from the inspiration to change, much needed change in all of our lives. So maybe this is a good time for that. So I guess tell me a little bit about who your average client is. Who can you help most? What areas do you specialize in?
What I look at as far as clients are normally millennials, mm-hmm. and Generation X, the older crowd. One, because millennials, statistically, they're going to stay in their work area maybe 2 to 3 to 4 years, and then they're going to switch careers. Mm-hmm. Where the Generation X, they're either just got laid off, how people look at ageism, got laid off or whatever. So they're looking to dive into a new career and get started. So I found, my niche there, where you got the millennials, because they're just going into maybe corporate America or whatever. So they don't really understand the culture, or, how the in and outs, the language and all this other stuff, where older people, we're already established in our day-to-day habits. Mm-hmm. Which means everything has to change mentally, both for millennials and Generation X. So we have to change the way we think, because I'll just be honest. When I first went back to college, I was probably in my mid to late 40s. Well, I walk in classroom, I had a pen and paper, and everybody else had laptops. So I was like,
That's dating you, yeah. I learned the typewriter in high school, Russell. That dates me a little bit, but
so you understand.
yeah,
You
a little
understand.
bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little. It's like,
and then you wrote a book. You're actually an author. Do tell us about Elevate to Success.
yes. And this is basically, I had to think of something that no matter what field you want to go into, whether it's being a doctor, being an attorney, being a chef, there are certain things that you need to possess in order to get to these levels or these particular careers. And so by thinking and going through the process, I came up with something called CRAM, KRAM, FAB, FAB. And CRAM is for the K stands for knowledge, the R stands for relationships, the A stands for attitude, the M stands for motivation, and then you got the FAB part, FAB, which means you have to be flexible, then you have to take action, and last but not least, the belief is the B. You have to believe in yourself. Even if no one else does, you have to believe in yourself.
Such great advice. My goodness. I love it. So author, you're helping the underprivileged, just so many great things. I mean, he's a trifecta.
I'm trying to get where you guys are. I'm
feeling so uplifted. I don't know about you, Lon.
Well, I will tell anyone this, that if you go to Russell's LinkedIn page, skip over everything and just read the testimonials. You're going to see words like leader, servant leadership, knowledgeable. And then, of course, the year up is also something I wanted to ask Russell about, because that's another common theme. Can you talk about a little bit about what year up is?
Yes, year up is a program that represent underrepresented youth. And the age group, we work with individuals between the ages of 18 to 26. And within a year, we teach them a technical skill. So the first 6 months, they going through something called learning and development, which we teach them, all the technical terminologies, how to work on, if it's hardware, cybersecurity, networking. We teach them all these particular skills. Then the next 6 months, they actually do an internship. The internship may be at Google, it could be at Microsoft, AT&T. I almost said Bell South, but that goes to tell you my age right there. I almost said Bell South.
You aged yourself again.
Yes. So at the end, they either get what we call converted, which means the employer actually hires them on the spot at the end. If they do not get converted, then they come over to my department, which is the employment placement department. And we actually set up resume reviews, mock interviews. We set up anything. So we'll have like CEOs, human people from human resources come in to help critique the resumes, to do the interviews. And we have a 95% success rate. 95. So they'll come from working a mediocre job. Well, I shouldn't say mediocre, because any job is a good job, to a career. And we do distinguish between a job and a career. Job is just over broke. A career is something that has longevity. So it's fantastic.
It's very impressive. It sounds like these folks are prepared that you're working with, when they hit their next level. Now, one question I have for you is, has there been a time or a situation where it was something that you did or was involved with that made you know that you were in the right line of work?
Yes. I'm very passionate about what I do. I've been, if you read my resume and everything else, I was a lead analyst at Georgia Pacific. I made the money and everything else. But now I do it because it's a passion. You don't only change the individual, you change generations. So it's not just the individual, it's the generation. And there was one young lady that she had asked me to, because we have a clothing closet for Europe where everybody has to dress professionally. and some people can't afford it. So they go to the clothing closet, and she was like, Mr. Wright, can you help me take this to the car? And I said, sure, no problem. We walked down to her car, and her car got all these bags in it. And I was like, well, what is this? Are you collect? She said, I'm living in my car.
Oh.
She was living in her car. And I said, okay, so I'm getting ready to be real, because that's how I do it. I was like, girl, what's wrong with you? Go back up there and go talk to these people so they can, find you housing or do whatever. Well, Mr. Wright, I don't want nobody in my business. I was like, I grabbed her by her arm, and we just walked up there, kind of like the Wizard of Oz, Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my! Like, we walked right upstairs and went in there, and she finished the program, and she actually got converted. And she had just turned like 21, somewhere around there. Her starting salary was $77,000.
That's amazing.
Her starting. Now, you cannot have a 4-year college degree. You can have a 2-year, or you can be in college, but you have to have a high school diploma or a GED, but you cannot have a 4-year degree.
Okay.
And this young lady started out there, and I was like 70. I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to, do a little something.
How inspirational. My goodness. Yeah. I've definitely in Philadelphia, I've worked at a couple of career schools and things like that, where I've seen that same situation, and all they need is someone to believe in them. And it sounds like you've certainly done that, and you've become their friend, their mentor, and yes, help them take that next step. And they're successful.
I tell them, as long as they keep me out of the old folks' home.
Well, we encourage everyone to reach out to Mr. Russell Wright on LinkedIn. Is there other ways that you can be contacted?
Yeah, actually, you can email me at russtkd63@gmail.com. And you can actually call me on my cell, 404-667-0082.
Cue the text messages. There
it is. He's accessible. Elevate to Success. You can find it right on Amazon.
Yes.
Go out and get the book. At least talk to Russell Wright. Like I said, he gave you the email, phone number, and LinkedIn address. Russell, we really appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much.
We do.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, we're 2 for 2.
Yeah, as always, we have the best guest. And
I know it. I still thank any of the guests that come on our show. They're willing to share their stories and whatnot. And for the theme this month, like I said, Sean offered advice to our viewers already about being in that right mindset, and Russell, he was coming off the he's facilitating career direction for so many of those that are 18 to 26. And then our next guest, Sue Ellen, is going to give us some guidance on how to live our best life.
Yes, so the theme so far, I think, is anything can be overcome. So with the right mindset. And that does bring me to our certified dream builder coach, Sue Ellen Sweeney. You look lovely. Hi, Sue Ellen.
Thank you. Yes, I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so inspired by the last 2 presenters, Russell and Sean. And we have so much in common. You're exactly right. Anything can be overcome. And getting the right help and the right support, somebody who you resonate with can make all the difference. So that's what coaching is about, and that's what I love to do.
That's what you do. And I guess my first question for you is, what keeps people from living their dreams? I mean, you're a dream builder, and what stops them in their tracks?
Right. Well, I think it really starts with we come into the world and we're dreamers. When we're kids, we believe we can do anything, have anything, we can be anything we want to be. And we're sort of socialized out of that, right? And we become logical, and we start getting ideas about what's important or what we should do or what we have to do. And we stop connecting with that part of ourselves that's a dreamer. And then we move into lack of believing in ourselves, or fear is something that really stops people in their tracks and gets them stuck.
I bet. Yeah, I think fear is a big one. And then you add a pandemic, add all these other ingredients, and everyone's hoarding and different mindset, right?
Right. All kinds of circumstances in people's lives can get them stuck, really.
Well, what can you do to help these people kind of help them get out of this mindset of fear? Sue Ellen, what techniques have you been able to use to help them get out of this mindset of fear?
Yes, it is possible. First of all, believe it's possible. So I believe that anything is possible for anyone, and the power within us is greater than any circumstance or situation or condition in our lives. And I start with helping them get in touch with their vision for their lives again. Asking big questions like, what would I really love in my life versus what do I think I have to do, or what does the economy dictate that I have to do, or what do I, being stuck in whatever I'm doing because this is what I've been doing, when they really don't enjoy what they're doing and it's not connected to their passion and purpose. So I help them get in touch with that. I offer a complimentary vision session to anybody who's interested, and then we explore what is it that they would like to transform in their lives. It could be their health, it could be relationships, it could be their career, it could be how they're showing up and enjoying life. So when we connect deeply with our own self and our passion and purpose, and understand that we're spiritual beings in this human existence, then life becomes a lot more fun and easy. It actually can be easy.
I said that to you the other day. I think I said, hey, it's easy. But that's right. So you're saying if people follow their passion, it's actually an easier route in life than doing something that they feel they have to for the paycheck, or that they're not passionate about. Following your passion is actually the better career choice. Is that kind of your motto?
True. And there's obstacles. So then when we help them find their passion and purpose and decide for it, there's mindset obstacles like Sean was talking about that they need to move through and shift. So I have a lot of curriculum and tools to help people shift their mindset from into believing what's possible for their life.
Now, in addition to everything else, I believe that you can help parents that are maybe struggling with too much on their plates right now. So you actually are, like some of our other guests, kind of dipping yourself into lots of areas of helping people. And one is parents that are juggling too much. Tell me what you can do for them to help them kind of manage that.
I raised 6 kids, and I'm passionate about parenting, and I really believe it is the most important role that you can have in life in a lot of ways. And I do believe too that when we're the best version of ourselves, we're going to show up as the best parent, the best partner, the best career person that we are. So self-development isn't something that we should let go of when we become a parent. I think that it's really helpful. So doing the Dream Builder coaching program with me can really help people get more clear on who they are and really show up as their best selves, understanding where they are in life, and then having some tools to really navigate all of these things that are going on in their life.
I love it. Hey, Lon.
Hey, I know everything she's talking about right now. My day included being a teaching assistant with a 7-year-old at home, going to school online, and then trying to juggle my job as well. I thank you from all the parents out there that are struggling with that balancing act from a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and I honestly really believe that balance is sort of the wrong idea. I think that it's more about integration. It's more about understanding that every aspect of your life is important, and it's going to get attention, not maybe right all the time, but really not letting go of parts of our lives that are really important to us because we have kids or because we have a career. Most people really do want to pay attention to all of it. And most people really want to be really good parents, and they can, with support and with believing in themselves as well. So some of the mindset tools are really helpful for parenting as well.
Sue Ellen, you have a couple of links. We have a website, other ways to get in touch with you. What is your target individual that you're looking to work with?
I would really love to work with young parents. I'll work with anybody in transition because I really believe in the Dream Builder program and the Life Mastery program. I have a lot of coaching programs that help people learn about, their paradigms and limiting beliefs, and then step into getting in harmony with universal laws like the law of attraction and the law of thinking and reciprocity and things like that. So my mentor and teacher was Mary Morrissey's, if you want to learn more about some of the programs that I'm trained in. I would love to work with young people who really want to be successful in their life and in their career, and really want to be good parents and want to enjoy life at the same time. Because I really believe it is possible.
Can have it all.
Yes, you can have it all, and it can be easy. It can be easy.
I love it.
Yeah, like you said, you just got to find that balance, and I'd say I would agree and say that we are 3 for 3, Ava. Sue Ellen was a great guest.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being here.
Yes,
I love having you on, Sue Ellen. A joy, a pleasure, and yes.
Feel free to send Sue Ellen an email. Sue Ellen, life.coach@gmail. Check out her website, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Sue Ellen. I appreciate you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I lost track of time. I could just talk to these coaches all day.
An inspirational guest tonight. Fantastic. Great. Well, now it's time to introduce our next guest. He's a sports radio personality from 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit and the host of the Task Force Sports, streaming on all platforms. And he's the director of Hey That's Easy, Mr. Dan Leach. He's been on the show before. We're going to bring him back from the background. Dan, you have recently thrown your hat into a different ring. You are competing, so to speak, right, for a reality television spot.
Yeah, you always gotta keep it going, man. You always have to have, whether it's revenue streams or things to do in life. And you know me, I'm a man of many talents, and I have definitely thrown my hat in the ring. I can't say too much about it, but I will show you just so people can see. This is pretty sweet. I will show you something that you, my great friend Lawton Luntz, the king of the world, helped me with. I filmed some stuff for, the casting director, and it's, my second persona as the Squatch.
Oh.
Yeah. And yes, that is me in a Squatch costume with my Squatch stick, the putter. And I sent this to a game show called Holy Moly that I made it to the final round in. Can't say whether or not I'm going to be on this season, but I can tell you this, whether it's this year or next year, I will be on this show. And it should be a lot of fun. It's Squatch Sauce.
Yeah, hey, new beginnings, right? Stepping outside of the box. I like it. And this video is so great.
Well, there's more.
There's more. A lot of our viewers don't know that you're such an avid golfer. You know what I mean? Because you're truly golfing all of the time, or whenever you have a chance, anyway.
Yeah, I got very lucky last year during the height of the pandemic. I mean, golf is one of the very safe things that we could do. And my dad's a huge golfer, got me into it at a very young age. And I was able to play like 100 rounds last year and go up north and spend time with really good friends of mine and see some beautiful places. And it was just so important to get out in nature and on the whole new beginnings thing and stepping out and doing different things in your life. I think that there's nothing more important right now than taking care of yourself. Obviously along with your friends and your family and your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend. I mean, that's obviously very important as well. But being able to get outside, especially after what we all have been through. And this, let's be honest, this pandemic is not close to being over. But it doesn't mean you can't go out and whether it's, do something in nature, whether it's golfing, whether it's stepping out of your square. That was a big thing we learned when I was at boarding school at the Great Cascade School out in California. You want to step out. We actually literally had to make squares one day and step out of them. And then kind of say what that would mean to step out of your square. Literally made squares and stepped out of them. But this game show, and I've actually been on game shows before. It's even though I have a background in broadcasting, Vaughn, as you know, I've done many things with you. You're a great co-host and guest often on the Task Force. It's just important, I think, to always try to do different things, to always try to do things that are out of your comfort zone. I'm not saying this show is out of my comfort zone, but anytime you're doing a competition that's on national television, that's out of your comfort zone. So this was, by the way, me for a putt for 50 feet. I think I made it, Lawton, didn't I? I got through one of these. I think I couldn't get through the cat the first time, but then I got through it the second time, something like that. But no, it's
a lot of good shots in this
listen,
video.
I'm a decent golfer. I'm getting better. But I will say this, with all the terrible things that we've had to go through as a country and as a nation and as a world, and just as human beings, a very sad moment last year was my dad's very good friend and longtime golf partner, my good friend Mark Oster. You know about this, Mark, or Lawton. He took his own life, and my dad almost gave up doing his golf league. And I am going to be able to fill in this year and, I mean, be with my dad every Thursday. And that's something that means a lot to me, because obviously Mark was a good friend to me and to my father. And my dad loves golf more. He loves it almost as much as he loves me. And to be able to be there with him for at least 20, 21 weeks this year, this summer, spring and summer into the fall is gonna be really special. So golf and sports in general bring people together, and that's why it'd be awesome to be on the show, because I know it would mean a lot to my dad and friends of mine that have helped me get into golf and find a love for a sport that really brings people together, brings you out and exercise and gets to nature. There's the zebra. Oh, wait, through the zebra. And it's great and important that people do whatever that is, whether it's hunting. I mean, I'm not a big hunter myself, but I know a lot of people enjoy that. Whether it's jogging or yogging, the J is silent. Whether it's just going on a walk, like my mother and I do sometimes. It's really important to do all that stuff to take care of yourself, because we've had so many stressors in so many different ways over this past year plus. And I know for me, it's really helped me going golfing so many times last year. And I know I'll do the same this year. It's really helped me in so many different ways. And whatever that thing you love is can help you as well.
Yay! Get out of your head. Go golfing.
Do it and be a good squatch. There's the zebra. But Lon did a great job. You really helped me with that video, because Lon is as Ava knows, is a master editor. And I learned how to edit when I was in college studying broadcasting, but I'm way too ADD. They call it always Dapper Danny. I'm way too ADD for that. So without you, Lawton, I don't know if I would have had a chance to make it as far as I did to the final round of the game show.
Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope to see you definitely on Holy Moly. I hope that someone films you showing up to your dad's golf league this summer wearing the Squatch outfit. I at least one time.
Last summer I actually did. We were up at the Grand Traverse. We go to the Grand Traverse a lot. It's a great client of my good friend Jeff Lesson and our man Tom McGee, the pro there. We just have so many great friends up there. Mm-hmm. And I, during a round at the Bear, the famous Bear, the Jack Nicklaus course, one of the toughest courses in the country. Yeah. I literally I drove my cart, because I always take a separate cart, because I unfortunately am still a smoker, even though I'm 10 years sober, but I'm working on that. But I don't like to bother anybody else with smoke. So I had my own cart, and I drove into the woods and put the Squatch costume on, and then came back out and scared the crap out of my friends. It was awesome. We've got videos and pictures of that on my Twitter if you want to see it at Dan Luch 97.1. But yeah, the Squatch costume will be in that league at some point, Lon. That's for sure.
Well, hey, best of luck with that. You do a great job, not only with your own shows, but helping in the background of our shows. We appreciate you. And we always appreciate you popping on. Coming from the background, and I know you got to get back to work, so we won't take up too much of your time.
Yes, two things. You guys are doing an incredible job. Amazing guests, Russell and Sue. I mean, it's just such a great thing to be involved. It means a lot to be involved in this. And one more important thing: get out there and get vaccinated. I just got my second dose. No issues. Please do it. We're not going to get through this if we don't get vaccinated. So get out there and get vaccinated. I love you all. New beginnings. Believe in the dream. Peace, sauce.
We're 4 for energy, right?
Definitely. So, yeah, we've been on an upward path. Congrats. Lots of congrats to Danny. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that reality show.
Yeah, he'll be entertaining, that's for sure. Well, Ava, our final guest has an inspiring fresh start story. Let's welcome Nicole Maxwell to the show at this time. Right. Nicole has a really unique. Hey, Nicole, you have a really unique story here. Let's start by sharing your inspiration for diving in and leading your first nonprofit fundraiser. Not something people do every day.
No, and it's not something I've ever done before, but it has been fun, filled with a little bit of fear, but like we talked earlier, getting over that gets you to great places. So it's actually a fundraiser for a little girl whose family I've known for a long time. She's 7 years old now, but she was essentially born with half a working heart. And so now on February 13th, she just had her heart transplant surgery. Bless the Lord and bless the family who gave them that gift of the heart. So I've watched them go through some trials and tribulations, keep their faith and keep their strength, and just be the savior that their little daughter Tiffany needed. And it was my pleasure to kind of jump behind the reins and see what I could do to help.
Yeah, and this story is honestly life-changing when you see it. We have some video. Guests, take a look.
Tiffany was born July 12, 2013, with multiple complex congenital heart defects. Plainly put, only half of her heart was actually functioning. Many times I cried out, begging God not to take her from me. This was my worst nightmare and my biggest dream come true, all wrapped up in a beautiful wonder. 3 weeks old, she was finally strong enough to undergo her first open heart surgery, the Glenn Sano shunt. After many, many ups and downs, we brought her home at 3 months old. At 6 months old, she had her next open heart surgery, the Hemi Fontan. Her recovery was much quicker this time, and we are home in a month. For the next 2.5 years, there were lots of doctor's appointments, hospital stays, and other scary moments related to her only having half of a heart. Despite her having lower oxygen saturations and working harder than other kids to breathe, she was happy and relatively healthy little girl. The day after her 3rd birthday, she had her 3rd open heart surgery, the Fontan completion. We knew this wasn't a guarantee to last forever surgery, but for the next 3 years, she did extremely well attending school, Girl Scouts, skiing, and horseback riding. This past November, we were given the news that within the next 2 years or so, Tiffany would need a new heart. I had prayed this moment would never come, and here we were, staring it right in the face. She had a heart catheterization scheduled for February 5th, and her cardiologist let us know it wouldn't be a bad idea to have our bags packed in case Tiffany wasn't healthy enough to come home afterwards. Now, the way this list works, we presumed she would be in the hospital waiting for months. After waiting only a week, a complete miracle happened, and a dream match was found for her. At 2:30 in the morning, the day before Valentine's Day, Tiffany got her new heart. While this was an absolutely amazing gift, it's also a whirlwind journey of getting her back to life, but also trying to get her home, ready for her to come home to. Because of the work I did from home, animal care, the age of our home, and some water issues and possible mold, our furnace, ductwork, and flooring, bathroom, laundry room, and kitchen needs to be taken down to the studs and replaced. As always, we are so thankful for all of the prayer warriors, friends, and family, and complete strangers who have joined us on this journey. We are beyond blessed to have all of you on Team Tiffany with us. Your love, prayers, and support mean so much to us. We're praying for you while you pray for us. God bless.
Absolutely great story. How is Tiffany doing now?
I am so happy to report that Tiffany has come so far. She's such a brilliant little girl. She is able to get up and walk around, and she might just be days away from moving out of her critical care unit into the Ronald McDonald House, where she can learn to kind of adjust to her new heart, which has given her extra sass and attitude, which I think is great to see. And if you join up on, take a look at her Facebook page, you'll get a little insight on that and how well she's doing now. So I'm just blessed. You can see the tears in my eyes. Watch that 40 times, 50 times, and I still am just touched and amazed by even the positivity that her mom, Beth, whose voice you heard there, has kept through this whole journey. I'm a mother of 2, almost 3 myself, and I give it to her for having that faith in God to get them through, for sure.
Yeah, so just to recap, this little girl goes through this heart transplant, and then now the home essentially needs to be rebuilt in so many words to make it livable for Tiffany. So you decided to jump out of your own box, a fresh start indeed, you're doing this fundraising, and you have an event coming up.
Indeed, indeed. So when I heard that they were going to need to do that to their house, and they were given an estimate of almost $100,000 to do the repairs and make it a sterile, safe environment for Tiffany to be able to live, as she'll be on immunosuppressant medicine for the rest of her life in an effort to keep her heart from failing. I didn't know what I could do, and I prayed on it for a minute, and I just said, you know what? I bet that this story will touch some other people. So I reached out to a friend of mine who just recently bought a restaurant. It is called the Lift Bar and Restaurant, and she is going to help me put on an excellent time. We're going to have, there's the flyer there. So I've really tried to go above and beyond to have some fun for the kids there, and really hope that Tiffany's story can touch the community and help me help this family get the home to a condition that would be safe for her to come home and thrive and live. And they knew she was going to have to get a new heart, and I'm sure in the back of their mind they weren't ever sure that it was something that would come to fruition. But now it has, and we're going to do everything that we possibly can to make sure that Tiffany has the best opportunities to live a fulfilled life.
For our viewers outside of Metro Detroit, Highland, Michigan is obviously in the Metro Detroit area. But if you're interested in making some sort of donation, there is a PayPal site that's available on Facebook. If you search Tiffany Cupcake Fundraiser, I know that when we were getting ready to do the show, one of our guests, Russell Wright, was very interested at the very bare minimum in the cupcakes. He was ready.
We will have plenty of gourmet, fantastic, delicious cupcakes for sale to try and help raise some benefit money for them as well at the event on May 1st. So
we're going to definitely post this information on our Hey That's Easy website as well, and encourage any of our guests watching to share it as well. Nicole, what is maybe something that surprised you about the process of fundraising, or something that you may have not run into before?
Well, I think my passion for this little girl and her family and what I'm doing is quite evident. And I thought everybody I would come across would have that same passion. So with anything that you try and do and excel and be great at, you'll find hurdles or people who kind of just aren't in the right place, maybe in their own life, to kind of share that with you. So there have been some times where I asked hey, would you like to help me with this? And it was a stern no, or not even a time of day for me, so to say. And that was hard to come across. There were times I went in my car and cried, thinking that I was going to fail at my mission of delivering for this little girl, who just really is a sweet little angel. I really do hope everybody takes a moment to get to know Tiffany a little bit better.
Awesome. You're doing great work out there, Nicole. We appreciate you coming on the show. Yeah. And is there a goal in mind? You said 100,000 is what they're trying to get to, correct?
Yeah, so there's 100,000. We've been able to raise about 13,000 now. We have found a fantastic company, Mike Epley and Epley Custom Designs, has agreed to go ahead and write out the project, the blueprint, start the project with only that tiny little bit of money in his hands, knowing that we don't have anything else. His faith in God and us as well is just a gift from above. So we're really hoping that we can all come together and kind of put his faith in us towards a good effort, and come to terms and fruition with that as well.
There's good people out there. Nicole, you're one of them. We appreciate you coming on the show, and we will make sure to share all of this information on our Hey That's Easy page. And once again, we encourage all the guests to do, and all of us will definitely say a prayer for Tiffany.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome story. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a brave little girl. Yes.
We're gonna post this flyer right on our Hey That's Easy page. And this really interesting story. Nicole reached out to the show right after the last episode in March, and she sort of explained, what was going on, and she, come upon our show on Facebook. And the irony was it sort of fit our theme last month of, the inspiring stories and whatnot, but also the new beginning portion of the show where she had never done any of this before, and she was explaining the whole thing to me. I never fundraised before. I just really went out and tried and really put forth the effort. And I mean,
so glad you guys connected. So
yeah, just a couple of weeks ago. So to think in just the last couple of weeks, they've raised $13,000. They've already got someone agreed to at least get the building started. That's just that's an amazing story, and it really shows there's good people out there.
Absolutely. And yeah, the last show we got to meet some do-gooders that are doing amazing things, and Nicole is one of them. And yeah, almost every show should have someone like them. I would love to hear those stories and how people can help. Thank you.
Well, we encourage everyone to share our episode from our YouTube page. That'll be up later. Subscribe while you're there. Like us on Facebook, and join us for episode 6 in May. To all of our viewers and guests, we thank you. For Ava, my partner in crime.
Yeah, always
I'm
fun.
Lawton. Thanks so much for watching episode 5 of Hey, That's Easy.